When it comes to big, quick, and luxurious vehicles, it's what automobile makers describe as the premium class of cars. If you think this is as good as it gets, think again. Now BMW has brought a new ultimate flagship to the market, the king of the 7 Series, the 760 Li and its 12-cylinder engine.
Martina Starke says the 12-cylinder offers the highest level of comfort and exclusivity from BMW, and that it's the ultimate expression of luxury BMW has to offer in its vehicles.
This isn't the first 12-cylinder BMW 7 Series car. In 1987, the first one came on the market with a 5-liter engine with 300 horsepower. In 1994, the second generation came with a 5.4-liter engine and 326 horsepower. We saw the third generation in 2003 with a 6-cylinder engine and 455 horsepower. Now BMW is continuing the tradition. And the new 7 Series has 544 horsepower. It's pure luxury. Even the doors close automatically. Door handles are lighted. This is comfort written large. Elegant, but there are obvious details on this flagship nonetheless.
Martina comments on the presence in this vehicle, which she notes can be seen on the slightly redesigned grille with somewhat wider chrome work, on the external recognition lights, and in the side and rear blinkers.
She also points out the extra chrome on the rear between the double exhausts. Under the hood is what could be called the crown jewels of engine construction, the 12 cylinders. Fuel injected, twin turbo loaded, and very high compression produces 544 horsepower with a maximum torque of 750 Newton meters. Average fuel consumption 13 liters per 100 kilometers, and power improvement of 22% with a reduction of fuel use by 5% compared to its predecessor. But in our intensive test drives, we were not able to keep with the normal range of fuel consumption. For the interior, BMW used only the elegant and expensive that was available. The spacious 760 Li leaves nothing to be desired. The extremely comfortable seats are like being in a business lounge for working or relaxing. Something enhanced by a built-in DVD system.
In
the front and rear of the car's interior, says Martina, you can see the comfort. The detailing, as well as the quality of the materials, are noticeable too. She points to the increased use of leather on the instrument panel, the Alcantara roof lining, and the wooden handles, not to mention the lighted entry guards, all of which give the car a very luxurious and comfortable feel.
Sodass man sich in diesem Fahrzeug luxuriös sehr wohlfühlen kann und einfach komfortables Reisen genießen.
From 0 to 100 in just 4.6 seconds are sports car-like values, and that's underscored in the chassis. With rear-axle suspension and dynamic drive, the 760 Li stays flat on the road. The active steering helps as well. If you choose a sedan that has everything needed in the premium class like this, then you have to be willing to put 144,800 euros on the table in Germany. Following its sedan and coupe models, Mercedes now presents its new E-Class station wagon. With its 9 airbags and anti-drowsiness attention assist, this 5th-generation E-Class T model sets new safety standards. The rear seats can be easily dropped down from the trunk, expanding load volume to 1,950 liters. The new T model will reach German dealerships in November 2009 at a starting price of 44,800 €800. Peugeot presents a revamped version of its 207 series. They've upgraded the whole line, from the sedan, the spacious SW station wagon, the three-door RC, and even the 207cc model with its steel folding top. Unchanged for 3 years, the newer model's new engines, upgraded exterior designs, and more interior comfort distinguish them from their predecessors. Putting emphasis on environmental friendliness, Peugeot claims its leanest model, the 207, emits a mere 99 grams of CO2 per kilometer. Always on the road, moving from show to show, Willy Wonder is a musician who travels a lot and always in his VW T4. This is Willy Wonder's second T4, and he says he's already put 280,000 kilometers on it, which is why he's considering getting a second one. He says he'd use it for smaller transports, because he never uses all of the loading space anyways. And he says the smaller one would use less fuel than the T4. How about a Skoda Praktik? The small delivery vehicle is actually a Skoda Roomster, but without the rear side windows. Only the rear hatch window remains. Instead of seats, there's reinforced floor and interior paneling, just metal. The rear side doors making loading and unloading easy. The Praktik does not require any extra parts to be made. Even the window insulation is for the Roomster, and are used even though there are no rear side windows. All this keeps the price down. In the basic version, Praktik costs less than €10,000. Willie thinks it would be useful if the small transporter had seats, so he could take the family along now and then. Then maybe the Citroën Berlingo is the right choice. The second generation of the small, spacious French transporter has been at dealers since 2008. Its friendly design, generous proportions, and comprehensive and comfortable extras are its strengths. It might be boxy, but our Berlingo has 7 seats, so there's plenty of space for the whole family. Our test car has a 1.6-liter engine with 109 horsepower, but they are sometimes strained when trying to move the fully loaded vehicle with up to 2 tons of weight. Visibility in the Berlingo is good, but a parking assistance system is advisable. Berlingo uses a chassis common with other Citroën models, such as the C4 Picasso. It is very French, set very soft. That sometimes leads to a somewhat bumpy overall impression when driving. But inside the Berlingo, it's smooth sailing, even on rough surfaces. Electronic stabilization program is standard on the higher classes, but for the basic model, it's not even available for an additional cost. The same is true for a window airbag as well as a second sliding door on the left side. The interior is generously equipped, but the large monitor for optional navigation system is irritating. The Praktik is all about functionality, no sign of luxury at all. Even electric windows cost extra. It's a workhorse, not a stallion. The chassis is trimmed down. It almost gives a sporty driving feeling, but you notice any surface irregularities all the more. The rear view is fine as long as you don't have any cargo. The Praktik is available with a choice of 2 gasoline or 2 diesel engines. Only the self-starting larger diesel engine has a particle filter. It only has 80 horsepower, but never gives the impression that it's not powerful enough. For both of the more powerful engines, ESP is standard on the Paktik. Otherwise, it costs €300 extra. Now it's about the details. For his performances, Willy Wonder has to have a bit of equipment.
Ich nehme mit die Bassbox.
Willy notes how perfect the vehicle is for carrying his equipment, which, he says, consists of a bass box, an extremely long keyboard with its stand, a CD player, an amplifier, speakers, a seat, a box for all the cables, and a microphone. A perfect fit. And with the Berlingo, first the rear seats need to be removed from the 7-seater and the second row of seats fold over. That makes loading easier. And there we have it. It all fits. But it is not necessarily secure. Both cars have their strengths and weaknesses, and neither can fulfill our test driver's wishes to transport both his family and his equipment. What does he think? Willy calls the Skoda a sport transporter because it's sporty, drives well, and still has a few horsepower left over, even when it's loaded. Although he likes it, he's disappointed that it doesn't have rear seats, which makes taking the kids along a problem. He observes that the Berlingo has plenty of seats for the whole family. But first, you must remove the seats when you need the space and find some place to store them. He voices his preference for the Skoda because he says it's more suitable to his needs. In the end, the cost-benefit analysis was clear. For transporting the family, another second car will be needed.